Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
In an age where technology, innovation, and historical revisionism intersect in surprising ways, few names provoke as much intrigue as Elon Musk. Known for his groundbreaking ventures in space exploration, electric vehicles, and artificial intelligence, Musk is a figure who thrives at the confluence of science and speculation. Recently, however, Musk ventured into a domain few anticipated: the historical and spiritual realms. During a candid interview that quickly went viral, Musk made a statement that left millions around the world stunned: the possibility that Jesus Christ, a central figure in global spirituality, might have been black. This revelation was not presented as a casual comment or an offhand remark. Musk, with his characteristic mix of wit and data-driven precision, cited historical and anthropological evidence that challenges the Eurocentric depictions of Jesus. The implications of such a claim are profound, touching on history, race, religion, and the enduring narratives that shape societies worldwide. As one of the most influential voices of our time, Musk's statement reverberates far beyond the realms of theology, igniting debates across academic, religious, and cultural platforms. But what exactly did Elon Musk say? What evidence supports his shocking assertion? And why has the idea of a black Jesus been so controversial for centuries? To explore these questions, we must delve into the depths of historical records, cultural biases, and the enduring power of imagery in shaping beliefs. This journey is as much about uncovering hidden truths as it is about challenging long-held assumptions. The moment Elon Musk made his now famous remark, the world seemed to pause. If we're truly committed to understanding history through the lens of evidence, then the image of Jesus that most of us recognize, light-skinned, with European features, is almost certainly inaccurate, Musk declared during a live-streamed Q&A session. His statement wasn't just a personal opinion. It was backed by references to archaeological findings, historical texts, and the geographical realities of Jesus' birthplace. Musk's argument rested on a simple yet powerful premise. Jesus was a man of the Middle East. Born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth, his physical appearance would have reflected the Semitic people of that region: darker skin, textured hair, and features far removed from the Europeanized depictions popularized in Renaissance art. Furthermore, Musk pointed out the historical evidence suggesting that Africa's influence on the region was more profound than commonly acknowledged, potentially indicating an even darker complexion for the historical Jesus. This claim is not new to scholars, but its introduction by a figure like Musk, a tech mogul rather than a historian or theologian, lent it unprecedented visibility. Musk's ability to merge complex ideas and present them in a relatable way ensured that his statement reached audiences who might never have considered such possibilities. The fallout from Musk's statement was immediate and intense. Religious leaders, historians, and cultural commentators scrambled to respond, with reactions ranging from enthusiastic support to outright condemnation. Some praised Musk for shedding light on a topic often buried under centuries of cultural appropriation and religious dogma. Others accused him of overstepping his expertise and stirring unnecessary controversy. In predominantly Christian nations, particularly in the West, the idea of a black Jesus has long been met with resistance. This resistance is deeply rooted in centuries of colonialism and the use of religion as a tool for domination. The image of a white, European Jesus served not only as a spiritual guide but also as a symbol of cultural and racial superiority. For many, Musk's comments represented an overdue reckoning with these historical injustices. To fully understand the weight of Musk's claim, one must examine the evidence he presented. Archaeological discoveries in the region of ancient Judea provide a starting point. Skeletal remains from the period suggest that the people of the region had physical characteristics consistent with today's Middle Eastern and North African populations. These findings align with descriptions in historical texts, which often emphasize Jesus' connection to the common people of his time, individuals who labored under the harsh sun and bore the physical markers of their environment. Musk also referenced the role of Africa in shaping early Christianity. From the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, One of the oldest Christian institutions in the world, to the influence of Egyptian theology on early Christian thought, the connections between Africa and Christianity are undeniable. Musk argued that these connections strengthen the case for reconsidering Jesus' appearance, particularly in light of Africa's genetic and cultural contributions to the region. Why does the image of Jesus matter so much? Musk's comments reignited debates about the power of religious imagery in shaping perceptions of divinity, morality, and authority. For centuries, the depiction of Jesus as a white man with European features reinforced a narrative of Eurocentric superiority. These images, immortalized in paintings, sculptures, and films, became a tool for justifying colonialism and the subjugation of non-European peoples. Musk pointed out that redefining Jesus' image is not just a historical correction, but a cultural revolution. A black Jesus challenges deeply ingrained hierarchies and offers a more inclusive vision of spirituality. It serves as a reminder that faith transcends race and that the divine can be seen in every individual, regardless of their skin color. To understand the gravity of Musk's claim, it is essential to delve into the historical and cultural context that shaped the portrayal of Jesus. The Renaissance period, which spanned from the 14th to the 17th century, played a pivotal role in redefining the image of Jesus for the Western world. Renowned artists such as Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and others crafted images of Jesus that reflected their cultural milieu. The Eurocentric world steeped in the ideals of whiteness as a symbol of purity and divinity. These depictions were not just artistic choices, but deliberate constructs aligned with the socio-political goals of the time. Europe was emerging as a dominant global power, and the whitewashing of Jesus was part of a broader effort to legitimize colonial expansion. By presenting Jesus as white, colonial powers implicitly justified their civilizing missions, positioning themselves as the spiritual heirs of a divine savior who shared their racial identity. Musk's assertion unravels this narrative, calling attention to how history has been weaponized to serve particular agendas. Yet, Musk's remarks go beyond challenging these Eurocentric depictions. He brings to light the fact that the historical Jesus was born in a region at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and Europe, a melting pot of cultures and ethnicities. The Semitic peoples of ancient Judea, of whom Jesus was a part, were far removed from the pale-skinned figures immortalized in Western art. One of the most striking points in Musk's argument is the African connection to early Christianity and Jesus himself. Musk highlighted that Egypt and Ethiopia were not just peripheral regions in early Christian history, but central to its development. It was in Egypt, for example, that Mary and Joseph sought refuge shortly after Jesus' birth, fleeing King Herod's murderous decree. The choice of Egypt, a land steeped in African culture and history, underscores the profound ties between Africa and the story of Jesus. Furthermore, Musk referenced the Ethiopian eunuch, a figure mentioned in the New Testament as one of the earliest recorded Christian converts. This narrative demonstrates that Africa was not merely an observer, but an active participant in the formation of Christian thought and practice. Musk's argument pushes for the acknowledgement of Africa's integral role in shaping the faith, which includes re-examining the physical identity of Jesus. One of the reasons Musk's comments gain traction is his reliance on modern technology to support his claims. As the founder of companies like SpaceX and Tesla, Musk is no stranger to leveraging innovation to disrupt established norms. In the context of this debate, he highlighted the use of advanced forensic anthropology and DNA analysis to reconstruct the likely appearance of historical figures. Forensic reconstructions of first-century Semitic skulls, carried out by experts in the field, present a drastically different image of Jesus than what is traditionally depicted. These reconstructions show a man with dark skin, curly hair, and a robust build, features that align with the characteristics of Middle Eastern populations of the time. Musk's ability to present these findings in a digestible and compelling manner has brought them to the forefront of public consciousness, reigniting discussions that had long been confined to academic circles. Musk's revelation also touches on deeper questions about faith and identity. For centuries, religion has been a cornerstone of cultural and individual identity, shaping how people see themselves and others. The image of a black Jesus challenges not only racial biases, but also the theological frameworks that have long upheld them. In communities of color, the idea of a black Jesus has always held a unique resonance. During the civil rights movement in the United States, figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X invoked the image of a Jesus who understood suffering and oppression, a savior who mirrored the struggles of black Americans. Musk's comments breathe new life into these interpretations, offering a vision of spirituality that is inclusive and empowering. Conversely, Musk's remarks have also drawn criticism from those who see them as an attempt to politicize religion. Critics argue that focusing on Jesus' racial identity distracts from his universal message of love, compassion, and redemption. Musk counters this by emphasizing that acknowledging historical truths does not diminish the spiritual significance of Jesus, but rather enriches it by making it more relatable to people of diverse backgrounds. The implications of Musk's claim extend far beyond academic debates and religious circles. In a world increasingly divided along racial and cultural lines, the idea of a black Jesus serves as a powerful symbol of unity and reconciliation. It challenges the narratives that have been used to marginalize certain groups and offers a vision of a world where spirituality transcends physical appearances. Moreover, Musk's statement has sparked conversations about the role of technology and media in shaping perceptions of history. As the world becomes more interconnected, the ability to challenge established narratives and uncover hidden truths has never been greater. Musk's comments exemplify how influential figures can use their platforms to provoke meaningful discussions about identity, history, and the human experience. In the wake of Musk's revelation, many are calling for a paradigm shift in how we approach the story of Jesus. This shift is not merely about replacing one image with another, but about embracing the complexity and diversity of human history. It is about recognizing that faith, like humanity itself, is multifaceted and enriched by its diversity. Musk's remarks have opened the door to a broader conversation about the ways in which historical narratives are constructed and who gets to shape them. By challenging the Eurocentric image of Jesus, Musk invites us to question other assumptions and biases that have shaped our understanding of history and spirituality. Elon Musk's shocking revelation about a black Jesus is more than a provocative statement. It is a call to action. It urges us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we have been told, and to seek out the deeper truths that lie beneath. In doing so, Musk has not only sparked a global conversation, but also reminded us of the power of history to shape our perceptions of the present and the future. As the world grapples with the implications of Musk's claim, one thing is clear. The story of Jesus, like the story of humanity itself, is far more complex and beautiful than we have been led to believe. By embracing this complexity, we can move toward a more inclusive and truthful understanding of the past, one that celebrates the diversity and interconnectedness of all people. The debate over Jesus' race is not a new one. It has been a topic of discussion among scholars, theologians, and lay people for centuries. From the early centuries of Christianity to the modern era, the depiction of Jesus has been colored by cultural biases and historical events. The image of a white European Jesus is deeply ingrained in Western Christianity, but this image is in direct contrast to the physical characteristics of people from the region where Jesus was born. For much of Christian history, the image of a white Jesus was used to reinforce the notion of European superiority. When European powers expanded across the globe during the colonial era, they carried with them this image of Christ, reinforcing the idea that the divine favored the West. This image was so pervasive that it became almost impossible for many people to envision Jesus in any other way. The whitewashed Jesus became a symbol not only of divinity, but also of cultural dominance. However, in recent decades, scholars have started to push back against these traditional depictions, drawing from archaeology, anthropology, and historical research. There have been efforts to reimagine Jesus as a figure who reflects the diversity of the region he came from. This includes acknowledging the possibility that Jesus could have had darker skin, reflecting the physical appearance of people from the Middle East and North Africa. Musk's comments brought this long-standing conversation to the mainstream, offering a platform for people to reflect on these ideas in the context of modern discussions around race, identity, and representation. His remark on the Black Jesus, while controversial, has sparked a broader movement to challenge the image of a whitewashed Jesus that has dominated Christian iconography for centuries. The Church has played a significant role in shaping the image of Jesus, particularly through art and religious iconography. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, religious leaders and artists sought to make Jesus relatable to the European masses by depicting him as a figure who looked like them. This was part of a broader theological and cultural strategy to solidify the Church's authority and influence in Europe. The most famous example of this phenomenon is Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, where Jesus is depicted with European facial features and pale skin. Such images became widely circulated, reinforcing the idea that Jesus was European in appearance. The Church's influence on the portrayal of Jesus was not limited to art. The institution also played a role in controlling religious narratives, ensuring that depictions of Jesus conformed to the cultural and political priorities of the time. This Eurocentric portrayal of Jesus was also reinforced by the fact that, during this period, most of the power in the Christian world was located in Europe. The Catholic Church, based in Rome, wielded immense influence over religious doctrine and representation. By presenting Jesus as a European figure, the Church helped to establish a framework where the divine was linked to European identity and power. In this context, the black or brown Jesus was either omitted or portrayed as secondary to the dominant image. This systemic erasure had lasting effects on how non-European Christians viewed themselves and their faith. Musk's assertion is not only a challenge to the historical portrayal of Jesus, but also a direct confrontation to the centuries of influence the Church has had in shaping religious and cultural identities. While discussions about the physical appearance of Jesus often dominate conversations about his race, it is also important to consider the biblical context in which these discussions take place. The New Testament offers only a sparse description of Jesus' physical appearance. There's no direct mention of his skin color, hair type, or facial features. The lack of detailed physical descriptions in the Bible leaves room for interpretation. What the Bible does describe, however, is Jesus' life and actions. He is portrayed as a man who sought to break down the social and cultural barriers of his time, emphasizing compassion, equality, and justice. He spoke to the marginalized and oppressed, challenging the hierarchical systems that divided people based on wealth, gender, and social status. In this sense, the racial debate surrounding Jesus' identity may be less about the physical attributes of Jesus and more about the social and spiritual message he conveyed. Musk's argument touches on this deeper question. What does it mean to truly understand Jesus' identity in the context of our modern struggles with race and identity? By suggesting that Jesus was likely not white, Musk is encouraging people to reframe their understanding of his teachings in a way that resonates more closely with the struggles of oppressed groups throughout history. In many ways, this reinterpretation of Jesus as a figure of color offers a new lens through which to view the gospel. It invites people to reconsider how they connect with Jesus' message, especially those who have been historically marginalized or oppressed. For these individuals, a black Jesus may serve as a powerful symbol of hope and solidarity. Beyond the historical and physical aspects of Jesus' identity, Musk's comments also underscore the African influence on early Christianity. The ancient Christian church was not solely a European creation. It was deeply shaped by African cultures and traditions. The Egyptian Coptic Church, one of the oldest Christian institutions in the world, traces its origins back to the 1st century. Alexandria, Egypt, was a hub of early Christian thought, home to some of the first Christian theologians, such as Origen and Athanasius. These figures played a critical role in the development of Christian doctrine, yet they are often overlooked in mainstream Christian narratives. Moreover, Ethiopia's role in the early history of Christianity is equally significant. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church is one of the oldest continuous Christian traditions, dating back to the 4th century. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church traces its origins to the reign of King Ezana, who adopted Christianity as the state religion. According to legend, the Queen of Sheba, who is believed to have visited King Solomon in the Old Testament, brought Christianity to Ethiopia centuries before it spread to Europe. The African connection to Christianity is not a peripheral one, but a foundational aspect of the religion's early development. Yet, this contribution has often been overshadowed by the Eurocentric focus of mainstream Christian narratives. Musk's remarks bring this important historical context to the forefront, urging a re-evaluation of the roots of Christianity and its connections to African culture and identity. In the aftermath of Musk's comments, the question of Jesus' race continues to provoke discussion. Whether one agrees with Musk's assertion or not, his words have ignited a conversation that transcends the boundaries of religion, race, and culture. The implications of his statement are profound, as they challenge long-held beliefs about history, identity, and representation. Elon Musk's claim about Black Jesus may be viewed by some as a provocative statement, but it serves a larger purpose: to challenge the Eurocentric narratives that have shaped our understanding of the world. In doing so, Musk has not only disrupted the conventional portrayal of Jesus, but also opened the door to a more inclusive, multifaceted understanding of faith, race, and history. Ultimately, the question of Jesus' race is not just about physical appearance, but about the values and teachings he espoused. By embracing a broader, more inclusive vision of Jesus, we can foster a greater sense of unity and understanding in a world that is often divided by race and identity. Through this lens, a Black Jesus is not just a racial or historical figure, but a symbol of resilience, hope, and the potential for a more inclusive future. In this way, Elon Musk's statement may represent a step toward a deeper and more transformative understanding of one of the most influential figures in human history.